Hey folks, let's talk about stretching your retirement dollar. You know, retiring on a fixed income doesn't have to mean living with stress. With a smart plan, you can stretch every dollar. How can you do that? Well, track your spending. Write down where your money goes for 30 days. If you stop and buy a soft drink, write it down. If you buy Halloween candy, write it down. If you stop and get a quart of oil because your car's a little bit low, write it down. I can't stress that enough. Only when you know where your money goes can you actually make a budget. So let's talk about making a budget. You know, you can put it on a spreadsheet, in the computer. You can just write it on a piece of note paper. That's what a lot of folks do, and that's fine. What I do is I write my categories, my budget line items on the left-hand side going down. In the next column down, I write how much I'm going to budget for that month. And then the preceding columns after that are the months, January through December. Then at the end I have a total, which tells me exactly how much I spent each month throughout the year. So in other words, let's say your electric bill, you're going to budget $250. Your cell phones, $75. Groceries, $300. If you still eat out, budget $100. If you're going to put gas in the car, it's going to cost you, what, $75 a month, depending on how much driving you do. We all have medical expenses, even with Medicare. I budget $50 for that. Household goods. Let's talk about household goods for a minute. And I got $150 down here, and we don't spend that much every month. So when you go to the grocery store, do you buy paper plates, paper towels, toilet paper, shampoo, deodorant, hand soap, dish soap? Those are things that you always need, but you can't eat them. So don't put them under a grocery budget item. Put them under your household goods. How about entertainment? Maybe you want to go to the movie a couple times a week or a month. Unfortunately, I have an HOA fee. I pay $500 a month to live where I'm living. Now, some people have rent. Some people still have a mortgage. My house is paid off, but I do have an HOA fee, so that gets its own line item. Here's one I can't stand, and in 8 months I'll have it paid off. I've got a car payment, $250 a month. And the last thing I put down here, which should have been first, because I always say pay yourself first, is your savings account. Always put money into savings. Some ways you can do this: cut reoccurring cost. Cancel your unused subscriptions. You know, in the household, or in the United States, the average household has 4 to 6 paid streaming subscriptions. You know, that's anywhere between $288 and $430 a year. And if you include subscriptions such as meal kits, magazines, gym memberships, that's another 3 to 4 right there that you're adding each month. Here's another one. How about switching or lowering your phone and cable plans? I switched our phone service and went from paying $150 a month to paying $88 a month. I saved us $744 a year just by calling up and switching our phone service. Folks, you need to prioritize your needs over your wants. You need to focus on housing, food, health, and transportation first. Those are the 4 big ones. If you need to, contact your local government for a housing assistance. You can shop discount grocery stores like Save-A-Lot, Aldi's, Food Line. For your health care, if you need to, go to your county health department. That's what they're there for. And for transportation, if your car's paid for and you can trade it in on something cheaper, more gas efficient, that's what I would suggest to everybody do. Here's another one. How about using senior discounts? I've got a short list I found online just this morning. Department stores: Kohl's, Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. Grocery stores: Kroger, Safeway, Publix, Food Line. If you still like to eat out, Try Denny's, IHOP, they're still around. McDonald's, Wendy's, how about Golden Corral? I mentioned theaters. If you like to go to a movie once in a while, try AMC, Regal, or Cinemark. And pharmacies, we've all got prescriptions that need to be filled. Walgreens, Rite Aid, CVS. And here, my local Costco, you don't have to be a member to use their pharmacy. So if you've got a Costco close by, check it out. Here's the thing about senior discounts. Most of these places are not going to advertise them. You're going to have to ask for it. But most of them will have a discount of some type. Maybe on a certain day of the week, but they will have one. So folks, just remember this. A budget is freedom. It's not restriction. When you know where your money goes, you gain peace of mind in retirement. So folks, until next time, y'all take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later.